Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In the last two videos I showed you how to run Netgrif Platform locally, either in IntelliJ IDEA or in Visual Studio Code. In today's video we will go a step further and I will show you how to deploy Netgrif Platform in a server, specifically in this case in Ubuntu 24.04. Here is a step-by-step breakdown of what we will do. The first thing is, again as in last two videos, to clone and create your own frontend and backend Netgrif Platform repositories in your local PC. In my case, I will use the same repositories and same projects that we used last time in the Visual Studio Code. Another step is to build deployable packages either from frontend and from backend. Then I will take these two packages that will be zipped in one file and I will upload it to a server. Also with Netgrif script that will allow me to set up and install all the prerequisites, databases, and then also make the configuration to run frontend and backend on the server. Afterwards, I will take the zip file and the configuration of frontend and backend, and I will deploy them, run them, and application will be up and running on the server. As an extra step, I will make a new menu item for application request that I did in the first video. Okay, let's jump in. I will start with showing the backend. It is the same application that we did in the last video for Visual Studio Code, the same project. The only thing right now that we will need, as I see, we do not have app.jar in the target. So what I need to do is call maven install. Okay, great. Application is built, and I see that app.jar is already in the target file. Later we will use it to make the zip file that we will then later upload to the server. Okay, app.jar is created and we can go to second part, which is frontend. Again, this project is the same project that we used in Visual Studio Code tutorial. We only changed one thing, and that thing is to switch again the auto-resolve backend URL configuration to true. And just to be sure, I also change all the addresses from the local host to the address of the server where the application will be up and running. Here, we need to call command ng-build to create a build for the frontend that will then pack with the frontend with the backend and upload to the server in a zip file. Great, as we can see on the top left, the new dist file is created, and here I can see all the files that we have in the etask folder. I can copy the path and go to the task manager. Here I can see that there is an etask folder. What I need to do now is open the app.jar, copy the path. I will make a new file explorer and copy from here app.jar file. In the dist file I can make a new folder that will be backend, put there app.jar, rename etask to frontend, and pack this to compress to zip file. And I can rename it to etask.zip, let's say. Great. On the background, I'm already connected to my server, both in a Windows SCP and in the command line. Right now I need to use this Windows SCP to copy the etask zip into the server, into my home folder. Great. The zipped file is on the server. The second thing that we need to have there is install script, bash script, that we will use to install and set up all the environment to run Netgrif platform. Again, I need to upload it to the server. This one was much quicker as it is just a small script. And now we can go to command line, and I can see here that install sh is already in there. I can call this file. I can open this script, calling sudo bash install sh. And here I have 5 options. I will also provide you with the README file how to use this script, but we need to make 3 things. The first thing is to set up to the environment. We need to install all the prerequisites for the frontend, backend, and databases. So just by pressing A in a setup, by pressing 1 in setup, I'm installing all. We are installing Java, we are installing Elasticsearch, Redis, MongoDB, Apache. Then we are also having their unzip to work with the zip file. And I think I didn't forget anything else. Great. All the setup of the prerequisites is done, all the installations. But as I mentioned, and as you could also mention in the running of the logs, is that Redis didn't install correctly. This was the thing that I wanted to showcase in this video, that we are running third-party solutions, we are running third-party code, and sometimes these companies change their stuff. We are calling some version in the script, and the installation does not need to run correctly. We can check whether the Redis, Elasticsearch, MongoDB services are running correctly by running systemctl status, and I want to call Mongo service first. And I see that it is active and running. I know, but we can check also that Elasticsearch is also active and running. But what I mentioned, that Redis service was not Redis server. Redis service is not available. It was not installed correctly. When I was preparing for this video, I mentioned this thing. Last week it was working, but the current version is not up in there. So I found on the web page of Redis the solution how to overcome it. And by just calling these 3 commands, I can replace the problem and find the solution. So in case that script won't run correctly, please check which services are not responding well, and by fixing them, you will make all the prerequisites for application be viable. Now, if I will call systemctl status Redis server, I can see that also Redis is up and running. Great. We can go to another part. We are still in the install in the Netgrif home folder, and again by calling install file, we can see that we can do the second part, which is installation of the configurations. And here again, I want to make the installation or creation of configurations and all the necessary files by pressing 1 in this part. I need to create a name for my application. I want to call it Netgrif. My user will be also Netgrif, and the IP address can be the one where I'm currently on my server, so this one. And I see that Apache is ready. By reloading this service, I can see that authentication and creation of Apache configuration is ready. So if I will go to the link of this application, I see that already the application is configured to my app, but the application is not hosted yet. And for that, I need to call my bash again to make the deployment from the zip file. To deploy it, I want to deploy Netgrif setup, and I want to deploy it from the etask zip file. We can see that there is some problem with the backend setup, but frontend was deployed correctly. I exactly know where is the problem. We forget to put some files into source main resources for the PDF generation. We'll fix it in a while, in a second. Right now, if I will check the frontend again, I can see that it was deployed and it is running from the resources that we provided in there. And to fix this problem with the backend, we need to go to the root on the WinSCP application. Here we can go to opt, to the Netgrif, into the source main resources. And what is application telling us? That we are missing some file in resources PDF generator, and we can copy these resources from the backend application. I think I'm having it in here. So from source main resources, I can copy the whole or drag and drop the whole PDF generator into the resources folder on the server. And once the folder is in there, all the fonts, images, etc., I can rerun the backend. So sudo system ctl restart, and I want to restart the Netgrif service. And to see all the logs, I'm having here the journal ctl command that will show me the current state of application initialization. And as you can see, we can see again here in the Square Netgrif application engine, which means that the backend was deployed and run correctly. And now if we'll go to the front end and log in by a typical super at Netgrif with the default testing password, I can log in, and I'm in the application based on Netgrif platform on the server. So this is the first part. As I showed you in the presentation, we already deployed application from zip file, and by provided configuration, we started all the services, and application is up and running in there. We are ready to do there some stuff. For this video, I create some bonus. As in the first video, I was always creating like new public URLs when I was creating new process instances. In this video, I also wanted to show you our capability of creating new menu item. In the first video, we had application request. In today's video, I want to show you that you can make a new menu item in the left menu, some folder in where we will have some filter that will allow us to filter all the requests that we have in application, and also on the top right position is a plus button that it allows some certain users that will blocked by some roles or by some user lists to be able to work with this. Now I will jump to application builder, where I will show you the request application. So in a new tab, builder, Netgrif Cloud, and I'm uploading here on desktop. I prepared the request application. And when I want to make the new menu item is on upload of the process. So action, edit view, in processes and cases, when process is uploaded, in the post phase after the process, the template application is on a server, I want to check the ID, etc., and from that create a new menu item. So in the post phase, I want to call the function, and what function I want to call. The presentation on the next slide, I'm having this create or update menu item, which is to make the filter that will allow me to show all the list of cases that I'm having there with the process identifier request, and also to set a new URI node that will be like a folder in the left menu and also an element in a main dashboard on the main page. So here I will copy this code. I will paste it into the action part. I see that there is some ID of icon that I want to show, the name of the filter, what are the allowed nets, etc., etc. And I'm downloading the source code. This is the source code. Here is the menu item. I will just quickly change this ID because I mentioned before that there is a duplicate ID when I was uploading that. As I change the ID, I also need to change here the character for the request as it was copied wrongly. And as I see, everything else here is correct. Now I can go into eTask application where I can upload this process with the function from the downloads. I'm taking the request and I see that there is another problem. I can check the log of what's wrong. There is some trouble with also character here, request. Hopefully everything is all right now. I can upload it one more time. And now we can see that it was uploaded correctly and the new low-code request application is running on server. What we can do, we can go to the dashboard home page and we can see that there is a new element, new card of request. When I will click on request, I can see that there is a new category of request with some specific icon. And in the requests, I can see all requests, my filter to all cases that are around the process of request. And in this filter, I'm allowed to create a new process instance. So on pressing the top right button, I can make new request of 6th of August. And the new process instance is up and running and I'm allowed to fill the form. I think that I forget to put into this instance the calling of the create of new IAM user that we had in the first video. But if I would now improve the backend by this new function, then I would be able to assign the task. But I think that if I would check the logs of the application at the moment, it's telling me that I do not have any function to call users from IAM. And this thing we can fix in the next video. Thank you very much for your attention and see you in another video or in some another place. Thank you. Bye-bye.